Okay, let's start. Let's start this thing. So, welcome guys to the 27th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for August 18th. The episode that almost didn't happen. Take two, or part two, I guess. Because I forgot to tell Tyler that we were definitely doing a podcast today, and he forgot to ask.
Yeah.
And I have a final tomorrow.
8 o'clock rolled around, and I was like, today seems unusually not busy for me. And I kind of realized, oh, wow, I'm a little late. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
But here we are. We're doing.
It gave me like 2 more hours to study for my final tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be fucking awful.
I know how that feels.
I have a final that's like late at night.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know.
It ends at 10 p.m.
I don't think I've had one that late. I've had them when it's dark out, but that can be kind of whenever, anyways. But yeah, I'm more partial of either in the morning or kind of middle of the day. That's when I'm most attentive.
Middle of the day. I have a hard time getting up for my early exams, and I hate going to the ones late at night because I feel like I've wasted my whole day.
Yeah,
because like you don't do anything before you go.
You never want to study for them before you go.
Well, there's no point in studying for them before you go anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
All that stuff is silly and pointless. So, you've been playing a ton of Payday 2 this week, that is what I've noticed. Or at least a lot of it. Not necessarily a ton. I mean, not like 30 hours in a week worth. But, is that game good? Because I just got paid this week for the first time in a while. And I want to get it.
It's just really hard to recommend right now. I like it and I've been playing it a lot. I see some flaws that I think I don't know the producer of it, the publisher, 505 Games, or no, Overkill. Um, they announced that they're going to release some content later once they get everything up and running and they know it's working smoothly. Which
yeah, there's 5 pieces of DLC apparently planned for that game.
They said the first one's free, I believe.
In a year. Like.
Which. Wait, 5 for this year?
Yeah. Like for the upcoming year, not like by December.
I was gonna say like that's a lot, but it's DLC kind of seems it's like it's gonna be ridiculous. I just have questions about that, like if it's just gonna be more guns and masks, which I know they'll do.
Well, it's gonna be obviously more missions.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the killer for me because I don't want to. If they give it to us for free, like the first one's supposed to be, I don't know about the rest of them.
Well, I would suspect that some of them aren't going to be free.
And that's going to be such a pain in the ass. Like, I mean, obviously, new content, I should be used to DLC by now. But it's, right now,
Yeah, but that seems like a game that's perfectly fine to do that with. I mean, it's essentially a game based around Horde mode.
Yeah, it is, and
like levels are the only thing that would add variety to that game, and so.
Yeah, and there's not. Right now, I don't really run a lot of missions. I do the easier missions just to kind of rank up, and it takes quite a while to actually learn a mission properly because really the game's all about stealth. Because if you don't stealth it and you don't have the right equipment, you can't. Not that you can't do the mission, but it's extremely harder. Did you ever play the first one? Because I didn't. I don't know what that's like at all.
I played a little bit of it. You have to play with friends pretty much because the AI was too bad.
Yeah, and the AI is awful in this game.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard, but I mean, I wouldn't buy it to play it by myself.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. But the one thing I don't like is if we have 3 people, we usually just run with the 4th AI because it's better than nothing, but at the same time, it's still kind of he's goofy. The good thing about that though is the stealth mechanics in that is they just sit back. If you're stealthing the mission, they just sit back and don't do anything. And they don't get seen by anybody. They just hide. They have like a designated zone that's a safe zone. They just don't leave that until like an alarm gets sound, which is nice. So that's one good part about it. But it seems really buggy. Part of the stealth mechanics seem buggy, but I've been thinking about that more and more, and the fact that I haven't really seen a lot of stealth mechanics in games. comparing it to like a Splinter Cell game, it's really hard to make a comparison because I guess if you compare it to Splinter Cell, it's completely different in the fact that people can hear you and you're not a complete like assassin and you can go and do stuff and not be seen. Like you can't shoot out cameras without being seen sometimes, and there's just certain aspects of the game which are kind of like dice rolls where if you try to answer a guard's pager, you don't always answer it correctly, and that's kind of it's really frustrating, but it kind of adds a little more realism to it. So there's a couple things I like complaints about it, but overall it's a lot of fun. And like I was saying, you unlock more missions as you progress through levels, and obviously they scale and get harder and harder. So I've probably done like four, maybe five missions, um, like unique missions, but like I haven't done them all properly. So it's really neat to see like all the ways you can do it, especially with all the skill trees. So I like it. $30 kind of seemed reasonable, and I think if they do add some DLC for free, and then they do fix some stuff and maybe add some more content that's not DLC, then I think it's definitely worth it. It's and especially if you have friends to play with. If you don't, then it's kind of like, ugh. But I mean, you can easily find a lot of good group of people. The community is really nice in it too. There's only a few griefers, I being one of them, because I left the game and just shot out a bunch of windows and then left. So that's kind of, but you don't really get that in game, and but there's not really there is a reputation system, but I think that's your level. So I don't really think that um, means like a community reputation. It's more of just your level in general. But I kind of wish there was more of a report system, but I don't really think they will implement it because there's not really that big of a problem. But it's fun. $30 is a pretty decent price point for it, so I'd say check it out.
Yeah, I wanna. I was thinking about getting it like next week or the week after that because this week, like tomorrow night, I'm probably gonna do my card hunter video,
Yeah,
and then I'm in the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot beta. That game's kind of.
I heard about it. You're actually in it?
Yeah, I'm in the beta.
Oh, okay.
And
I've heard a little bit about it, but haven't looked into
so
it.
I'm thinking like a day or two after the Mighty or the Card Hunter video, probably do a video on that.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a Pikmin 3 review right now that I really can't get like too. I can't tell you my opinion enough, like because it's not well formed enough. Mostly because I just haven't had time because of this final that I'm doing tomorrow. But once once I'm done that, it's like Pikmin 3 all day.
Yeah.
And then like
so,
betas at night and just get that shit done. So
yeah.
I'm hoping to get like the Pikmin 3 review done by next weekend so that I can upload it next week. Or, I mean like the week after that.
Right.
Because I expect it to be long. And it's actually like a review format now instead of I'm getting rid of like a look at or whatever the fuck it was that I called it because I don't like it anymore. Mostly because it was like basically a review format without a score, and then everyone's like, "This isn't a review; it's a first impression." It's like, bitch, I beat the game. It's not a first impression.
Yeah.
And like it was super heavily scripted, and I just don't want to do that anymore. And when I came up with that name, I didn't find anything with the same name. But then like after I did like 4 videos with that name, I found like another thing that has a really similar name that's actually popular. So I don't like using that name.
Yeah.
So now
it's tough to find something unique.
Yeah, well, it's like impossible. So I just, yeah, like this upcoming week, pretty much after tomorrow night, I've got like 3 videos that I'm working on. And then once I get those done, I think Payday 2 is like something I would buy and play.
Yeah, I really think that it's time-wise, it's definitely worth it too because I kind of justify purchases by how much time I put into a game.
Well, I'm sort of like that, but I'm sort of not like that because some games are like just really, really good. So even if you don't put like a ton of time into them, it like doesn't matter because the quality of like that experience was so high.
Yeah, and I was like that at first, where I wasn't playing it that much, and my friend has another group he plays with. I'm like, kind of just playing with 2 other friends. So it's just been kind of like jump on, jump off. But that now that we're getting into higher levels, it's the quality's just getting better. So I was really surprised by that. I just thought it would kind of be the same kind of missions, same way every time, but you can really mix it up depending on how you spec into it. So it definitely does just I was surprised that I was that interested in it afterwards. Because I was kind of more playing it to get my time in and be like, okay, like I can justify
Yeah,
this.
well,
But
with the first one, like the game wasn't really interesting unless you were playing with like a group of people who knew what they were
yeah,
doing, because then you can do like the really stupid, crazy shit.
right. Because I mean, the other night I was up for 3 hours doing one mission, and all we would do is, if we failed it, we just kill ourselves and retried it. And it was pretty. It was neat because you just learned like you'd get it down and you'd work as a squad. So it's cool because I don't really get that in any of the other games I play with. It's hard to find a game where you work so tight, close, so tightly with other people. I mean, I play Counter Strike, but that's a little different. It's just more. I don't know.
Well, especially with CS:GO,
Yeah,
because like the mat, we've talked about this so many times, but like matchmaking kind of like killed community for that. So now like you don't
right.
even play with the same people very frequently.
Yeah, but I think it's just such a unique experience too that the missions are really cool, and I'm finding that the missions aren't really alike at all. There's two missions that are the same, but there's different objectives, and some of the levels are the same in like later missions, and there's um like a certain mission where you can just do one part of a longer mission, and that's just a 1 day thing rather than a 3 day thing. And that's the neat part about it is they have certain length of missions where it takes a couple days to complete, but you only get paid at the end of it. So if you're doing a pro job, you can't. If you lose, you can't retry it. But if you're not, you can just retry it. But they have a higher payout, I think. But it's just really, I don't know. It's just a unique thing. Oh shit. But that's a really cool part too, because if you don't want to spend the 3 days running through a whole mission, you can just go through like a bank heist. But at the same time, it kind of sucks because it's the same bank, and usually there's only a certain amount of places they can put the doors and vault. So, but I mean, you couldn't really design it a million different ways because that would take too much effort. So, I'd give it a thumb up and say check it out if you're interested in it.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up next week after I get videos done,
Yeah.
because I have some money, so I'll pay off my credit card and
Ooh.
buy some stuff. I'm planning on buying some other stuff too, though. Like I'm gonna buy some pints off the Valve store. I want to get the Dota 2 ones. Sadly, they're sold out, so I haven't bothered to pay off my Visa so I could buy them yet. Because there's two that I want to get that are like the Dota 2 ones. One's the Dota 2 logo, and one of them's the Brewmaster logo.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's a Brewmaster pint. And then I want to get the Aperture's 1940s one.
Yeah, Aperture just has a nice.
And the Half-Life 2 Black Mesa one.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna get a Black Mesa parking pass because they're like $1, and I'll put it in my car.
Is that all off the Valve store?
Yeah, it's off the Valve store. I really like Valve because Valve is one of the only companies that sells merchandise for their games. Them and like Double Fine.
That, and it's not that extremely terrible merchandise.
It's not really shitty merchandise, and it's like not stupidly expensive.
Right, because you know what I'm talking about, where it's like it just screams we're trying too hard, and this is really shitty merchandise.
Well, like the shit that you're getting like collector's packs is like usually really terrible.
Yeah, here's a giant statue of a dragon.
Like Valve will give you like they sell like lithographs that are really high quality for like $15.
Yeah.
So like I have my favorite Team Fortress 2 character, the only one that I'm any good with, the Demo Man, which funnily enough is the hardest character in the game, and he's the only one I'm any good with.
That doesn't work out.
I'm really good with the Demo Man. I land all of the grenades.
All of them?
Yeah.
All that. Yeah, but I agree. Valve does have quite a cool store. The one thing I don't like is their partnership with SteelSeries, with Counter-Strike. All that stuff's just kind of lame.
Oh, it's really trash. I hate SteelSeries stuff because it's all the SteelSeries stuff I've owned has broken so fucking quickly. See, I had a pair of 7H's, the headphones that are like $200 goddamn dollars. They broke after 6 months. I barely used them at all too. I just had them like hung on like my headphone like hook, and they broke after fucking 6 months.
Did they actually like snap or?
No, they stopped working.
Yeah, my friend had that happen, and they offer free replacement cables. Which I
No,
don't
it
know.
was no.
Yeah,
The
I know.
actual headphones were broken, not the cable.
Yeah, but like I see, I haven't had problems with mine either until recently, where my Siberia V2s shit out on me. One of the ear cups didn't work,
Yeah,
and I
and
kind
now
of
the
was
mic
like, you
doesn't
know what,
work.
I'm gonna veer off the path and get something new. So, but yeah, no, those I don't care for the design they made with Valve. It just kind of looks like shit, but whatever.
The Dota 2 headphones are hilariously stupid because they're just gray and they have like a very small Dota 2 logo on the side, like above the cup, so that you
Oh
can like barely tell they're Dota 2 headphones.
yeah, whatever.
Whatever. I do have a SteelSeries mouse pad. That hasn't broken on me.
Yeah, that's
This
what
is
I
a
got too.
fucking mouse pad. God damn it. Someone decided that they were gonna be like helpful to me and they would clean my room, and I just realized that they fucking put my mouse pad upside down. So I'm gonna change it right now.
Someone literally wanted to clean your room for you.
Yeah, they cleaned my office for me. I hate that.
Wow.
I hate when people fucking clean my shit for me because they just make a mess.
But yeah,
They
because
put everything back wrong. My fucking. They always move my monitor. That's like the biggest fucking pain in the ass. Is they move my monitor. So it's like I have to. I have like a big ass monitor, and it's like let's fight to get it just back into the right position so that it's like just the right distance from me.
yeah,
It really bugs the shit out of me.
that's why I hate moving so much. Because I have to move my computer, and I'm just like, everything's right where I need it.
Oh, okay. Moving my computer is a fucking hassle because I have like I have to move my desk because my desk is like this is the only desk I've ever found that fits my computer. It's like a gigantic L, and
Mm-hmm.
it takes like an hour to take it apart.
Not. Yeah, mine was a modular desk, so it was literally two bolts with two nuts,
Uh,
and I was good to go. So
well,
that
I
was.
have 3 monitors and I have like wires ran through the desk because I have like a surround sound system on the desk and
Fucking fancy.
all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But no, do you want to talk about the Counter Strike update from this week, or maybe it was from last week?
No,
It was from this week, right?
it was just I think it was
It was like
this
the day
this
after
week.
we did the podcast
Mm,
when
oh
they added
yeah,
skins.
yeah, that was Wednesday.
Yeah, it would have been Wednesday. They
Wednesday.
added skins because we recorded last week's podcast late.
Yeah, so
So, what is this shit? I'm actually like not happy about this at all.
no, okay. See, I bitched my ass off about this too because I'm almost pissed off. Like this is not what we needed. Uh, it's
It's so fucking stupid because like skins have always been free in Counter Strike. Like you just download your own skins and fucking use them on your computer. No
yep,
one else can see them, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
it's just for your
But
benefit. So
yeah, and so like they've brought hats to Counter Strike basically.
well, that's what it's becoming. But
And no, like the thing that pisses me off about that is that you know that the game's going free to play in fucking 6 months.
man, if it does,
They have crates with fucking keys, right?
yeah, right.
So
Well,
so
there
it
were-
has a free to play fucking okay, it's got a cash shop now, but we paid for the game, which means that it's going to go the way of TF2 and it's going to be free to play in a little while.
yeah,
And we already
Well-
like I just fucking bought this game like when did it come out? 6 months ago? No,
Well,
it's
yeah,
been
last-
like a year.
Has it been? It wasn't last fall.
Maybe it was last. Yeah, it was last fall. You and I have been playing it for like a year.
Year, okay.
But-
Yeah, I can definitely see this taking the exact same route that TF2 did once it went free to play.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
feel like
so-
that's gonna hurt the community in a way
That's
is
gonna
not.
destroy it.
It won't destroy the community. It'll just hurt it in a way that I don't really want to see it hurt in. Mostly
Yeah.
because TF2 used to be really cool and community based, and
Yeah,
there used to be just like lots. All the players used to be pretty good too, but like fucking now the majority of people lone wolf it. They don't have mics like they did way back in the day when even when you still had the matchmaking issue for TF2, you still had everyone had mics and shit and like worked together and played as a team because we all paid money to play this game and fucking wanted to enjoy it and not be terrible. And now it's just like, let's get hats, guys, and I'm like, fuck this.
You know how they'll justify it too? Is they'll do exactly like they did with Team Fortress 2. Did just give you some crappy item and say, this is what you get for being a premium player, and that's it.
Dude,
so
I don't know what you're talking about. I got 2 items.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got the Valor of Purchase or whatever, which is like the hat, the green helmet. But I have the Mercenary badge that you could only get if you bought it day one.
I didn't get Mercenary. I got Veteran or some other thing. It's the bronze one, so it's not really that cool, but
I have the gold one.
Yeah.
From because I started playing the game on day one.
Well, aren't you fancy? Yeah, they'll.
Yeah.
I feel like
I bought it for Half-Life 2 episode whatever.
Did you buy? Well, no, I guess would that have came in the orange box? Like, or
yeah, it came with one of the episodes, and it was like the launch of that episode. But then I had an extra copy of Half-Life 2 and the episode before it. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 2 episode 2 came with the orange box.
Yeah.
It was the only way to get it on the day it launched.
Oh. Yeah.
But I also wanted TF2, so and then Portal just turned out to be a good game that surprised everyone.
Right. But definitely the wrong thing that should have happened. I don't know if I showed you or if you saw that the CS:GO dev Twitter tweeted about their update. Like, previous to the update, they teased it and they showed the M4 silenced.
Yeah, which was the thing that they actually needed to add, even though it doesn't have any purpose in the game.
Okay.
But they added the USP and the M4 silencer, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've played it or not. It's not what you think it is. It's completely different. Is
it a different gun? Like,
yeah, it's a different gun. So
are you fucking serious?
So what you do is you have a whole inventory now, and you have to equip the loadout for this gun. So you either have the M4 or you have the M4S, which is a silenced version of it. It has 10 less bullets in a clip, so it has 20, and it has only 60 bullets total rather than 90 with the M4. So it's
why?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point in that? That's so stupid. That's like one of the stupidest. That gun is not worth having.
No. Well,
at all. Like, does it do more damage or what?
I think it does less. The thing is though, is you can take the silencer off that one, so you can have the silenced version but unsilenced, which is just idiotic because that's the point you bought.
But it has less bullets.
Yeah, and it's cheaper though, so that's kind of like how you justify it, I guess. I don't know how much cheaper it is.
No, that's stupid. From a competitive play standpoint, like, that's a fucking useless gun.
Yeah, because 20 bullets is nothing. You can't hold a spot with 20. You're reloading after. Yeah, it's just dumb. The USP is the same way. I think it replaces the P2000.
Probably.
But you can unsilence and silence it.
I'm gonna have to use it though, just because that was like my best. Okay, besides like the core guns, if I was on CT side, like I was better with a USP than a Deagle. Yeah. And I would fucking like run around and like two-shot people with a USP in the head and be like, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good gun, and I'm glad they added it back, but they did it in the complete opposite way of what they needed to do.
They did it the wrong way. They needed to just put it fucking in. Just like it was in Counter-Strike 1.6 and Source and Condition 0 and every other one.
The system's kind of clunky too, how you do everything. You have the loadout page, and then you select like rifles, pistols, SMGs, or heavy, and you select which ones you want to replace. And that's their, if you do get any of the skins, then you have to replace them that way. So your skin gun would replace your regular gun. So that's how you equip it.
Well, if that's what they're doing, they're most definitely moving into like a free-to-play model cash shop where they're probably going to sell guns and shit. That's really upsetting.
Well, they said that they are looking into how to add a workshop to it, but that's funny because how can you do a workshop when you have guns on a marketplace? Because
they might only be skins.
Yeah, but that's that's what you're getting already. So it just defeats their whole purpose of having the
So that
skins.
they can
But
sell their skins. No,
I,
because
I
like it would work like Workshop in TF2 or Dota 2, where like you submit stuff, but you can't use them in the game.
right. So it's it's interesting, but you don't need it, and it makes it feel like Call of Duty. Like the one thing that separated Counter Strike from not the only thing, but one thing that separated was you have these set of guns, you use these set of guns and get familiar with them, and we're not going to add any of the added bullshit that you don't need. It the cosmetic part of Counter Strike that's
It's
not
so
needed. It's
clean
just,
and uncluttered and
exactly,
like
and
simple that like the game just feels really different as a result. But I'm really pissed. This is really sad to be honest because like Counter Strike's a game that I love.
yeah,
There's a lot of reasons why I love it. Not only because the game's great, but because like the community's been so strong. Like a lot of my best friends I met playing Counter Strike. Like Brandon, like Alan, like Chris, like Nick, like
yeah.
fucking so many
Honestly,
people, and
this
like they're people that I still talk to like every couple days.
right.
And I mean I've known these guys forever, and it's because of Counter Strike. Like Counter Strike's a really big part of my life, and
Yep.
it's really upsetting that they're trying to like change something that is so special and unique. Like there's nothing else like Counter Strike, and now they're making it. I'm gonna say casualized, even though really it's like accessible
Yeah, but I get
because
what
it's
you
still
mean.
like the same game,
It's
but
just it's more appealing to the people that wouldn't consider it before. I mean, I don't know how many people they're going to draw in with skins for guns, but it's appealing to a
no
different
one. But
crowd.
you know that they're going free to play at this point, because like why the fuck wouldn't they? And
Well,
if they do, like it's gonna really ruin the game, just because of how like the people who play it have played Counter Strike forever. The people who play it like on a fairly serious basis. I think everyone does. Um, when I say serious, I mean like frequently.
yeah,
And like
it's not a
they're
game
not
you
there to just
but,
like get some kills. They're there to like win games
right.
and like work as a team. But if it goes free, it's just gonna not be that. It's gonna be
Right.
just like what TF2 is, which is about
It's
like lone wolfing and score whoring and getting hats, and that's gonna suck. That's gonna hurt the game in a way that like I would not find it playable anymore.
right. And
Definitely not pubbing at least. Like maybe I'd still scrim, but I mean I haven't scrimmed in like years because I don't have the time to do that shit, and I'm not
that
good enough
I can't
anymore.
find like a good place to do it either. So I have
Well,
to
you get on Irk and fucking find it. You go into the God, what is it? Is it Quake Live or fucking? I still have it saved somewhere. You go there and then you go into the scrim channel and you ask for a scrim on Dust 2.
yeah. It's like you said, it's gonna be like TF2, but I think even worse just because of how important you rely on communication in that game. I mean, TF2 you do as well, but I think Counter Strike's a little more, at least from my standpoint, being more like competitive about the game. That and I think if they go free to play, that Valve's gonna pour themselves with servers and their matchmaking, and that's gonna take over the community,
Well,
obviously,
they
because
already
that's
did that.
well, it's gonna become even a
The
bigger
only
problem.
people, the only people, no, it doesn't matter because the damage is already done regarding that. The only people who survived were the really big clans like um,
Hell, Hell Gamers or something like that.
PTC, Titties and Beer, um, the really, really big clans, the ones that have been around since 1.6, pretty much.
Right.
Like, I mean, Titties and Beer still they have TF2 servers, don't they? I
I,
mean,
yeah, I
they
think
have
so.
thousands of members. They can populate anything. Same
Right.
thing with Poontang Clan. I mean, they have hundreds of members, and they're all paying. You have to pay to be in the clan. They can populate any server, but like the damage from matchmaking is already done. Like only
Yeah.
those clans, the really dedicated large clans that have been around for a very long time, they're the only clans that are surviving.
And the
Everyone else basically shut down because what? Why the fuck run a server when you can't populate it no matter how hard you try?
the bad thing about that too is the servers that Valve hosts are I think 32 or 24 man, and that just gets to be such an
They
annoyance
got to be
because
too big.
those maps aren't designed for that many people, and
No.
you get
Pub servers and Counter-Strike pretty much maxed out at like 16, 18 players.
yeah when you have enough people to cover each way, yeah, it just gets to be too much, and it just doesn't become it just gets boring and repetitive because op fast happen and all that crap. So yeah, it's just a shame because I really like that game, but I guess on a plus note, I've gotten drops and I've sold them. I've made $10 off that game, so that's kind of cool. But
Shit.
yeah, those crates, I've gotten crates and I've sold each of them for $2.50. Now I mean, like that's after it's like 290 on the marketplace. People pay for it, so I'm getting 250 from it.
That's
It's
fucking stupid.
yeah, it is, and I was
And you still have to buy a key, right?
yeah, you still have to buy a key, which you can get off the community for cheaper. It's like $2. So you're buying $5 worth of stuff for a gun, which I mean, you could get a nice rare gun from it, but why would you want to gamble and just it's just stupid.
That's a
But
waste of money.
yeah, I mean, Stat Track is not a unique feature. That that's just such a gimmick, and I don't like it. Did you hear about that? The special guns that track each kill, like on the gun, they actually display the number of kills you've gotten with it.
That's
It's
stupid too.
well,
Fucking.
I'm trying to. There's one other. Oh, they added another feature in game mechanic where you can inspect your weapon too. Really random. I don't know why that's in there. But like you literally like take your gun and you're like, oh, like what's this? Look at the side of this. It's stupid.
Let's let's just clutter our really simplistic, mechanically deep game with random stupid shit that doesn't do anything.
Exactly. So I didn't even consider free to play, but now my fears are kind of there.
That's upsetting. That's like my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, I guess franchise. The funny thing is, I started playing Source this week too. I haven't touched that game in forever, and I am
I
having
don't even
a
have it
blast.
installed anymore.
I have a blast with that because I pop on a gun game server and then go to town, and it's so fun because there's actually people on there, and the people use their mics, and I can still spray pictures. And it's just like those little things.
Yeah,
I
why did they
remember.
get rid of spraying?
I don't
That's
really
retarded.
I don't know what the deal is with that because that was such a cool feature. I mean, Left 4 Dead 2 has it, TF2 has it. Why would you
Yeah.
take it away? Go.
Let me
I mean,
spray my porn on the walls, you jackasses.
exactly. Let me spray my degrading pictures on the wall so you feel like shit when I kill you. That's a lot. That's the only reason I want it, but whatever. I mean, they'll add skins before they add that, which is kind of sad. I mean, I don't know if there's that many people complaining about it, but I would imagine so.
Yeah, that's just a massive disappointment. That's sad.
Yep.
On a happier note, did you watch the Witcher trailer
I did.
that shit's
When was
looking
that
good.
released?
this week?
Okay. I just missed it, I guess. I'm usually on top of that.
It was
game,
released
but-
on like Thursday or something.
Holy crap. I don't know if you got my message, but man, anything from them that like their cinematic team is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, all the cinematics from like The Witcher 1 and 2 are really good.
The
Actually,
opening scene,
The Witcher 1 cinematics are good in the director's cut extended edition where they fixed all of the terrible shit before that. I played through that game twice. I played through it with the normal version and the director's cut. The normal version looks like ass, and the sound and the acting is like the voice acting is really bad. The cinematics are crappy. Just like overall, the quality is not very good. But the director's cut, they went and they basically remade the entire game because they made enough money to remake the game, and they made it with like good voice acting and good animation and everything else, and changed all the textures and like totally different game.
yeah. The begin. I always watch the beginning of The Witcher 2 because that's on the boat scene.
Yeah, that's sick.
Holy crap! That is such a sick anime. Oh man, I was blown away. But yeah, I get more and more excited for that game as it comes by. And the funny thing is, I still haven't played 2 all the way through. So that might be a goal this week is to play that and actually get into it. You good?
Oh, sorry. I'm reading
Yeah.
something from someone.
Okay. I thought you dropped out.
No, I am here.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm super stoked for that goddamn game. I want it so bad.
I think that's, I don't know. It just got. I like how it played with the name, and just, oh, man. I don't know who that second person was though, and that kind of threw me off. Obviously, it's a man because it had a man's voice, but
I'm pretty sure it's one of the Witchers from Witcher 1.
Okay. Which
you didn't play Witcher 1, did you?
No, I don't know if I downloaded it or if I played it at someone else's house, but I know I played like a level or two of it. Is that worth going back and playing the director's cut?
For story purposes, yes.
Okay.
The mechanics are not as good as Witcher 2. The combat's like fucking not good at all. Just play the game on easy. That's what I did.
Just roll through it.
Yeah. Because it's just not as good of a game, but the story's really solid, and I'm definitely planning on playing both Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 before Witcher 3 comes out. I have to get new graphics cards before Witcher 3 comes out.
Ugh. That's gonna be a pain.
So I'm still on my 470s.
Oh. I mean,
when does Witcher 3 come out? It comes out 2014, right?
I have no idea. I thought it was coming out this fall when I saw that because like I totally lost track of that game. So I haven't really heard much from it, but
I'm pretty sure it's 2014 and Cyberpunk is 2015.
Cyberpunk. Ooh.
Oh, that game. Damn. That trailer that they released, holy shit. For Cyberpunk?
Nope.
You don't remember that one?
Nope.
Where the fucking woman, like, with the blade arms
killed
all those cops?
I thought there was another one. I was like, about to go.
No, they've only released the one.
Yeah, that's a crazy cinematic. Another news about The Witcher 3. The guy from Game of Thrones is doing voice acting on it. That's pretty cool.
What's his character's name? Tywin?
Tywin? Yeah, Tywin Lannister.
Oh, it's Tywin? Okay.
Yeah, Tyrion's the
imp, and Tywell.
Yeah, I mean that's
I'm
cool.
excited for The Witcher 3. That game's gonna be so good. That's like one of the only games that hasn't come out yet where I'm like 100% confident in it being great. In other news of fucking good games, Wonderful 101, they have a demo out on Wii U.
Yeah. That
game's fucking good. I'm buying that shit day one.
When does that come out?
September. It comes out in like 3 weeks.
Solid.
IGN just released their review. Their reviewer was too bad to be any good at the game. They gave it like a 7.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, the controls were frustrating. I'm like, bitch, are you fucking bad at video games? Like...
Is IGN pretty generous with their reviews or what?
Ultra generous. They fucking give like everything a 10. Like every fucking major AAA game, they're like 10. IGN can't be trusted. They give terrible games fucking 10s and great games low scores.
I generally go with Polygon for reviews.
Oh yeah, I never use IGN. I mean, they gave like God Hand a fucking 2. They said it was worse than like this game about babies on 3DS, which they gave like a 5. They gave like God Hand like a 1 or a 2. God Hand's like one of the best like 3D brawlers or like fighting games, I guess, on PS2. It's like regarded as one of the best games for the PS2 of all time, and they're like 1 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. Wonderful 101's sick though. That's the game where like you have all the superheroes and like make shapes with, and then like they make like weapons.
What studio was that again?
Platinum.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
They make Bayonetta. They're making Bayonetta 2 right now for the Wii U.
Yeah, Wii U exclusive.
Yeah.
That.
I'm fucking excited for that game too. That game's gonna be sick.
I had a Wii U.
Get one. when Smash comes out or before Smash comes out.
Oh damn, that's another thing. They have such a good lineup coming out.
Yeah.
Did you Pikmin 3? Did you play that or pick that
I
up?
we talked about it at the beginning of the podcast. Yeah, I've been playing it like the last 2 weeks.
Dude, okay.
I bought that day one. It's really good. I love the art style in that game because it's like mildly realistic, except for like the characters inside the world who are like pretty cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
But it like works really well, and like the game just like oozes style. It's really cute. I like it. And like you're picking up all this like fruit and stuff that's like in our human world, but they have like different funny names for it.
Oh, what is Alomar then? Are they just supposed to be like kind of like insects that help you?
This one doesn't have Olimar in it.
Oh.
He's from like a humanoid race that is much more advanced than ours, but tiny.
Ah.
And his like spaceship broke and he got stranded on a planet. This is the same planet though, and in this you play a different alien race that is also humanoid and cartoony.
Go figure.
They're not like Olimar. But you find sorry, my eye's bugging me. You find like old data entries from when like Olimar was there, like describing the planet when you're playing.
That's
it's really cool. That game's just super fun. I've been having a blast with it, at least with like the 6 hours of it that I've gotten to play. I intend on beating it this week and then doing my review. Because that game's fucking super fun. I just need someone to play the multiplayer with because
is that like any? I mean, I think I played one or two where it was like competitive.
There's like a competitive mode where you have to get fruit and put them like on this bingo board that you have, and like you can go steal like your opponent's fruit and stuff. But there's like co-op missions in that game on the Wii U and they're like not split screen. One person plays on the gamepad, one person plays on the TV.
That's pretty good. I'm a sucker for co-op. I don't know why, but I've always liked it.
Pikmin 3 is designed in a way that it would work really well in co-op. In fact, it would be better in co-op than it is in single player. Only because it would be smoother. Because a lot of the time you need to use so you can control 3 people at once and like tell them to go places with different Pikmin and like get them to do shit. But you have to like take control over all of them to like get them to do finer, like more specific movements. And so like it's just faster if you have 2 people to do it with.
Okay.
But at least the game is generous with time and pausing, because like you have to have all your Pikmin with you at like the end of the day, at the end of the time limit, and you have to like try to collect as much shit as you can within the time limit for the level. And so if you have 2 people, like you could just do things smoother. But at least when you're switching between characters, like it pauses, and when you set up like chains of commands for people, like tell this person with their Pikmins to go like to this part of the map, and then send this person to this part of the map. When you're like setting those up, they don't run the time.
That's good. Because two cut out the timer completely, didn't it? Or
2 does not have a time. Well, it sort of has a timer. This doesn't have like a day limit, but it has like a. You can lose the game if you don't collect enough fruit, basically, because you need fruit to live. You need to make juice out of fruit to live, and if you run out of juice, then you like starve to death.
That's great.
Yeah. And so like that's a really, the game is, it's not super hard, but it's reasonably challenging, I would say.
Not to the point of complete frustration.
Yeah, Pikmin 1 was like unforgivingly fucking hard.
Yeah,
that shit was like, I still really like it. I think it was a lot harder than Pikmin 2. Pikmin 2 was too easy. Pikmin 3 is like a nice balance between the two, where it's still accessible, but it's definitely not easy.
Yeah, definitely. Probably, I mean, just through the course, they never really were launched that close to each other. They kind of weighted systems. Like, wasn't the first one was on the GameCube, right? And then
First one was on GameCube, second one was
no,
on Wii, third one's on Wii U.
one per console type deal, probably.
Yeah. There's so many good games coming out for the Wii U. I'm happy that I bought it when I bought it.
Yeah.
Because like, even though there haven't been many games for it, like, every time a game comes out, like, I have enough time to sit down and really play it and enjoy it. I don't feel rushed because there's so few games coming out, but
right,
which is a bad thing, but it's worked out okay for me because all the games that have come out for it have been really good.
Right.
I mean, there's definitely some shovelware for it, but I mean, those aren't the games anyone was paying attention to. But I mean, like, Monster Hunter 3U was goddamn amazing. That's probably my game of the year so far. And that came out in the spring. It came out in launch window still. So
the Ultimate one?
Yeah, it's really, really fucking good. There's like more than double the content of the regular version of Monster Hunter 3, and the controls are much better.
It's all about the controls.
Yeah, it's really, really good. That game's gorgeous in HD. I love it. And it runs in 60 FPS, so...
Damn.
And it actually runs at 1080p. Actually, a lot of the games on the Wii U run at 1080p, 60 FPS. It's really surprising.
What more can you ask for than that?
Yeah, well, most games on 360 and PS3 don't. They only run at sub 720p at like 24 FPS.
Shame.
Skyrim's like less than 480p, 20 FPS.
Skyrim looks terrible
on Xbox. I can't play console games. It grosses me out. They look too much like they're too ass. Like
they're too ass.
They're too much. Yeah, like they're really bad looking, and I don't understand. Like people are like, it's not all about the graphics, but it's like, yeah, I know it's not all about the graphics, but like this game doesn't run well, and I can't see what's on the screen because the resolution's so fucking low, and you're stretching it out on this giant fucking TV. Like everything's blurred out and just looks terrible, and it's like, what the fuck is that? Is that a face?
What's great is when people say that graphics don't matter, and then they go to the next console war and they're saying that
like this one's more powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And then go back to they don't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it does matter. And in like that, it doesn't matter for some games. Like if you look at Nintendo games, they're really clean visually, and so it doesn't matter. But if you look at like Call of Duty, Battlefield, fucking Skyrim, there's so much stuff going on that when the resolution's low and it gets all blurry and you're scaling the shit out of it, then it starts to matter because it fucking is like you can't see what the fuck's happening. It's just like there's no detail to the world anymore, but it's one built like around there being detail.
At the same time, like Skyrim, for example, if you cut out all those detail sliders out on a PC, then the game just doesn't really feel the same, especially with distance. If you cut a lot of distance out, you don't really get as immersed, so it kind of falls short there too.
Yeah.
But
I'm digging the Wii U though. You should get one in like the winter or something.
Fuck. High demands.
Get one, play Monster Hunter with me. I need another person to hunt with.
That'd be my rationale between getting that. I would, but man, I got so many PC games to play.
That's true. Fucking Saints Row 4 comes out next week.
I don't know. That's funny that you say that because I keep thinking that the third one just came out recently, but I think
it didn't. It came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think I got it late. I think I got it in like a huge sale, so I must have got it a couple.
Did you get it in the THQ Humble Bundle sale or something?
I think, okay. No.
Maybe it was before that. It's been on sale for so cheap so many times.
Yeah, so I think it might have been not a summer sale, but some kind of Steam sale.
Yeah.
So who knows? But yeah, I haven't touched that game in a while though. And I've heard 4 is supposedly good. So
I want to get 4 because dubstep gun. Also, there's an anal probing gun.
Yeah, I heard that they couldn't put that in
the Australian version.
Yeah,
They
why?
cut so much shit out of the Australian version. They had to cut that out, and they had to cut out like this one mission because they used drugs.
I'm really confused why that I don't know, why that's such a big deal. But
Because Australian rating system's really fucking broken. Because for some reason they think that if a game is rated 18 plus only, so basically adult only, then they still have to censor it to make sure there's no sexual content or drug content because adults aren't smart enough to think for themselves. They're weak-willed. If they see you use drugs in a video game, adults will go and use drugs.
that means that I can never move to Australia. I know that they cut out, I think it was limbs falling off in Left 4 Dead 2 or some aspect like that. Like the gore had to be turned down because it was too gory. And
And in Fallout 3 they had to change the name. It was called like the stim packs for healing yourself. They had to change the name.
Really? Something that
small? And there was morphine in one of them, and it like healed you, and they had to get rid of that.
Wow.
In Australia, you're not allowed to release a game that promotes drug use by having drugs give you like a benefit.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not allowed to in any game. That's why they had to take out this one mission in Saints Row 4, because they do a bunch of alien drugs and it gives them superpowers.
That's from. Yeah, actually, if you do drugs, you get superpowers. Like,
yeah, so they had to take it out of the game.
Because that game is not over the top enough to make it seem completely unreal. But whatever.
Yeah, it's all very silly. That system's so broken.
Very.
They did the same thing with Dead State or whatever it's called. It's like an Xbox Live arcade game about zombies that's really popular.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't. Deadlight?
No, that's not Deadlight. I played Deadlight. That game's bad. That was another zombie game that was very popular on Xbox Live Arcade. That game sucked. That game sucked not because it was mechanically bad, but actually there was some bad things about that game mechanically. But that game sucked because it didn't live up to its potential that it most definitely lived up to within the first 30 minutes of the game. And it's just like, we're an action game where you shoot zombies now. It's like, you fucking assholes. The first 5 minutes of that game was really good. And then none of the game was like that ever again.
I'm glad I didn't touch it then.
Yeah, and then people got mad at me because they're like, that game was good. I'm like, no, you fucking shoot zombies. That's so boring.
I've done that in 1,000 other games.
Yeah, and it didn't even do it well. Do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. We'll find good topics for next week. I'll try to find a guest. Maybe we'll play Payday.
Ooh.
Maybe. Cost me an arm and a leg. Buy them a fucking copy of Payday, but.
Oh yeah, that would kind of suck.
Yeah, that game's expensive, but.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll do it for a good guest.
Only a super special guest.
Only a super special guest. Not Jeff. We're not buying Jeff a copy of Payday 2. He's got to buy his own copy of Payday 2.
Bummer.
That's right. You heard me, Jeff. But, this has been the 27th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for, August 18th. I've been your host, Ryan. And he's been your other host, Tyler.
That's me.
And, good night. Or afternoon or something. It's a time.
Insert.
And you're gonna enjoy
time
it.
here.